International distribution decisions. We all know that distribution is the course that goods take between production and the final consumer. In this lesson, we will discuss distribution and state its relevance, direct and indirect channels, factors affecting distribution and modes of transportation, and discuss the need for packaging and problems associated with packaging. After going through this presentation, you should be able to explain distribution, compare direct channels and indirect channels, discuss the factors involved in distribution systems, describe modes of transportation, define international packaging. Distribution is the course that goods take between production and the final consumer. This course often differs on a country-by-country basis, and MNCs will spend a considerable amount of time in examining the different systems that are in place, the criteria to choose distributors and channels, and how distribution segment will be employed. The marketing function of distribution involves the critical process of ensuring that the products of a firm reach the proper location for sale at the proper time and in proper quantity. Distribution decisions are also of critical importance because they are often long-term in nature, involving the signing of contracts with transporters or equipment leasers or the development of expensive capital equipments or infrastructures, such as rail lines, wharves, ports, docks, and loading facilities. The distribution chains begin with the producers of the goods and then generally close through an intermediary or in the form of a wholesaler or distributor, who in turn provides the retailer with his goods for sale. Direct selling is employed when a manufacturer develops an overseas channel. This channel requires that the manufacturer deals directly with a foreign party without going through an intermediary in a home country. The manufacturer must set up the overseas channel to take care of the business activities between the countries. The greatest advantage of direct selling channel is the active market exploitation, since the manufacturer is more directly committed to its foreign markets. Direct selling has a number of problems also. It is a difficult channel to manage if the manufacturer is unfamiliar with foreign market. Types of intermediaries are foreign distributor. A foreign distributor is a foreign firm that has exclusive rights to carry out distribution for a manufacturer in a foreign country or specific area. Foreign retailer. If foreign retailers are used, the product in question must be a consumer product rather than an industrial product. State-controlled trading company. India has State Trading Corporation (STC), which deals with import and export of cars and other items which are in SIL. Most opportunities for manufacturers are limited to raw materials, agricultural machinery and manufacturing equipment, and technical instruments rather than consumer or household goods. End user. Sometimes a manufacturer is able to sell directly to foreign end users with no intermediaries involved in the process. This direct channel is a logical and natural choice for costly industrial products. Indirect selling, also known as local or domestic channel, is employed when a manufacturer is in the United States, for example, markets its products through another US firm that acts as the manufacturer's sale intermediary. There are several advantages to be gained by employing an indirect domestic channel. The broker may be assigned some or all foreign markets seeking potential buyers. Manufacturer's export agent or sales representative. Manufacturer's export agent is not a manufacturer's employee, having more freedom than the manufacturer's own salesperson. A sales representative can select when, where, and how to work within the assigned territory. Types of intermediaries are Export Management Company. An export management company (EMC) manages under contract the entire export program of a manufacturer. Cooperative exporter. A cooperative exporter is a manufacturer with its own export organization that is retained by other manufacturers to sell in some or all foreign markets. Web-Pomeranian Association. It is formed when two or more firms, usually in the same industry, join together to market their products overseas. Purchasing or buying agent. An export agent represents a seller or manufacturer. The purchasing or buying agents represents the foreign buyer. Country-controlled buying agent. The country-controlled buying agent is empowered to locate and purchase goods for its country. Resident buyer. It is another variation on the purchasing agent. The resident agent, as the name implies, is an independent agent that is usually located near the highly centralized production industry. Export drop shipper. An export drop shipper, also known as a desk jobber or a cable merchant, is a special kind of export merchant. Export distributor. An export merchant and drop shipper purchase from a manufacturer whenever they receive orders from overseas, but an export distributor deals with manufacturer on a continuous basis. Distribution choices depend on several factors. One of them is the nature of the product. Is it perishable or fragile, or a product that will require after-sale service? Another consideration is the degree of control over distribution. Greater control over the distribution process requires greater involvement by a firm in terms of time, money, and energy. Another factor is cost. Whenever a new company is to be established, the transportation function is to be kept in mind before selecting the site of the company. Speed is another consideration to decide the mode of transport. Modes of transportation are: land transportation is the common mode of transport for any shipment, whether local or international. Second is air. It is the fastest growing mode and is becoming less confined to expensive products. Air transport has the highest absolute rates, but exporters have discovered that there are many advantages associated with this mode. Third is water. Bulk shipping is important in international trade because it is one of the most practical and important and efficient means of transporting petroleum, industrial raw materials, and agricultural commodities over long distances. There are basically three types of shipping companies: conference lines, independent lines, and tramp vessels. A contract exporter agrees to ship all or a large portion of his cargo on a regular basis on vessels of conference. An independent line is a line that operates and quotes freight rates individually and independently without the use of a dual rate contract. Finally, a tramp vessel is a ship not operating on a regular route or schedule. Packaging has assumed an important function for the preservation of the goods as well as for the reduction of cost of the products. It may be viewed as consisting of two distinct types. First, industrial, exterior, and consumer, inferior. Consumer packaging is designed for the purpose of effecting sales acceptance. The aim of industrial packaging is to prepare and protect merchandise for shipment and storage. Packing is even more critical for overseas shipment than for domestic shipment because of the longer transit time and a greater number of hazards. Problems with packaging are: weight. Over-packaging not only directly increases packing cost but increases the weight and size of the cargo. Second is breakage. The breakage problem is prevalent in every step of sea transport. Third is moisture and temperature. A good packing helps in the seepage of moisture and also prevents destruction of goods during extreme temperatures, especially when the cargo is to be shipped by sea. Fourth is pilferage. Pilferage of goods is very common, especially in the third world countries. An increasingly popular method of shipment is containerization. A container is a large box made of durable materials such as steel, aluminum, plywood, and glass-reinforced plastics. A container varies in size, material, and construction. The container by itself provides good protection for the product against breakage, moisture, and temperature. Because breaking into a container is difficult, this method of shipment discourages pilferage and theft as well. Now let us check if we have understood the various concepts discussed in this lesson clearly. The situation where the specific political groups control the distribution system is called ethno-domination. Right or wrong? Wrong. In order to prevent pilferage, the exporters can use containers for shipment that ensure safety against theft. Right or wrong? Wrong. Air transport is most frequently used mode of transportation for the distribution of products in international markets. Right or wrong? Right. Before we end, let us briefly revise what we have studied till now. Distribution is the course that goods take between production and the final consumer. When the companies have to market abroad, they use two principal distribution channels. First is direct selling and second is indirect selling. Direct selling is employed when a manufacturer develops an overseas channel. Indirect selling, also known as the local or domestic channel, is employed when a manufacturer in a country markets its products through another firm that acts as the manufacturer's sale intermediary. Distribution choices depend on several factors like nature of the product, cost and development level of the nation. Distribution decisions can be even more complex in least developed countries, where specific ethnic groups within the country dominate distribution channels. Packaging has assumed an important function for the preservation of the goods as well as for the reduction of cost of the products. An increasingly popular method of shipment is containerization. A container is a large box made of durable materials such as steel, aluminum, plywood, and glass reinforced plastics.